But finally, it was as if God spoke to me through books, through knowledge. I was reading a lot about nutrition, and it was as if God just kept shining the light on the words meat, fish, cheese, eggs, butter, milk.
All these spices, all this flavoring added to these tofu meatballs in order to make them imitate meat. Not like you're making your own special meatball, you know, like you said, Vietnamese meatball with real meat and all these delicious seasonings to help bring out the flavor. No, this is literally giving the tofu flavor. Okay, it's not bringing the tofu flavor out, it is making it have flavor, whereas before it was just bland, no flavor.
Oh my god, guys, what a huge deal. He's taking tofu and making it taste better by adding seasoning to it. What the fuck, dude? How f***ing dare he take tofu, a food that is, not too flavorful when it's alone, and add seasoning to it to make it taste like meatballs. I just can't f***ing believe it. This is such a big problem. The world is probably gonna end due to people taking seasoning and putting it on tofu, which are trying to make taste like meatballs. Anti-vegan, thank you so much for making your channel and going out of your way to point out some of the most horrific things that are going on today, such as vegan people who like to cook deciding to season their tofu so that their tofu can taste like meatballs. Thank you. Hey, what is up, guys? So today we're going to be going over a specific anti-vegan channel. Now, I found this channel while in the process of trying to gather, a myriad of anti-vegan content for part 2 of my anti-vegan cringe compilation little series I have going. But I managed to find this one channel that was just so bizarre to me in so many ways, and I just felt that due to its level of bizarrity, it deserved its own video. Now, it's always a large dilemma for me to cover, certain channels because in some sense, I'm giving them a platform and exposing them to some people. And I know, as well as you guys know who've been following me for a while, that there's plenty of anti-vegans who deliberately follow my content for reasons related to trolling, or they're, subconsciously wanting to go vegan and are following my content in a kind of cognitive dissonance sort of state. So yeah, I have some mixed feelings about exposing even the small amount of anti-vegans in my audience to this channel, but I think that it might be a good idea to do so because this anti-vegan, in my opinion, encapsulates kind of the basic dynamic that we see with a lot of anti-vegans where, they used to be a vegan and then veganism in some sense betrayed them. And then they now, developed a channel dedicated to being anti-vegan. It's kind of like that typical storyline you see in comics where somebody used to be good and then in some way the good superhero betrayed them and then now they're like this villain and they're, dedicating their life to harming the good. And I think this person is a great example of this sort of, comic book caricature, but within the context of veganism. You'll see there's just so much projection on her part with the things she says and the way that she responds to vegans. It's really bizarre and weird. But anyway, let's get on to some of her content. I'm going to be just reacting live to it and giving you guys my raw thoughts because, wow, this stuff is crazy. So let's start this off by reacting to her reacting to Unnatural Vegan.
Only here. I don't know how many times I've been asked to share my beef stew and I never have because I don't like making recipe videos. I don't know why they're not that hard. Well, it's because I'm not good at taking photos and video of food. I'm just so bad at it.
I personally think it's because she has no energy to go the extra mile, to take the steps necessary to complete this video. She didn't have the strength to do it. She's giving her whole life to her family and to veganism. Literally. That's what her job is, right? Her job is to make videos for veganism, so I don't understand why it's so hard. That's what your job is. Everybody else has to go to work, clock in. This is your job. Film the damn video.
So she's coming to the conclusion that the reason Unnatural Vegan isn't doing videos related to, food and all this is because she doesn't have the energy to do so, when in reality, it's just because she doesn't feel secure enough in her ability to capture the food and, make a sort of aesthetic video that makes the vegan beef stew or whatever she wants to make look good. So this is going to be a common theme we see in the way that she criticizes vegans. She kind of conjures up this weird kind of narrative. The level of baseless speculation in her analysis is so bizarre that like it really just seems like somebody has a gun to her head behind the camera and says like, hey, I'm gonna have you watch a bunch of vegan content and I need you to come up with some way of negatively interpreting it and find some kind of excuse to shit on vegans. So in this case, she's, hearing Unnatural Vegan explain why she doesn't really want to, film videos related to showing her beef stew. And she explains that, I don't really think I'm that good at it. And then she's like, I think you just don't have the energy for it because you're a deficient vegan. Where does this come from? How the fuck do you even come to this conclusion?
Obviously you have no energy. Look at your face.
Also, this whole you clearly have no energy thing. This is what I mean when I say she's kind of projecting maybe how she felt on the vegan diet. She maybe did it incorrectly or whatever, or didn't do it in a way that, gave her sustainable energy, and says things like, oh, maybe it's because you don't have the energy to film the beef stew. So you're going to see little things like this where she just watches an experience that vegans having and just kind of outwardly project what, in my view, she most likely experienced when she was vegan.
Am I being mean? Am I bullying her by saying she looks malnourished and sick when she's advocating this diet to everyone? No, I don't believe in body shaming like that. It's not the same thing to say somebody looks malnourished and to call them malnourished. Not even directly to their fucking face. But, it's opposite of body shaming. It's like enabling when you vegans tell her how beautiful she looks and how great she looks and how healthy she looks.
All right, so this is insane. She's saying that when vegans, tell other vegans like Unnatural Vegan, oh, you look great or whatever, that it's kind of like, giving her reinforcement for a very unhealthy lifestyle. Kind of like how an anorexic YouTuber who is promoting a terrible lifestyle is told by their followers like, oh my God, you look great, when in reality they're, depriving themselves of so many nutrients and are literally anorexic. So Anti-Vegan, which by the way is the name of her channel, is trying to make the point right now that when a vegan tells another vegan like, oh, you look great, blah, 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 you're kind of doing the same thing that people do when they tell an anorexic influencer that they look great, and you're reinforcing that a very unhealthy lifestyle is good. So as you guys know, a vegan diet, when done properly, can be very healthy, but when it comes to things like bulimia and anorexia, of course, these things can't be done in a healthy fashion. And you'll see now that she's going to bring up a very famous influencer who is anorexic and try to parallel people telling Unnatural Vegan that she looks good with people telling this anorexic influencer that they look good.
Whenever you tell somebody they look amazing when they really don't, that is a lie. That is much worse than quote unquote body shaming, I think. Because if they really are sick and you're lying to them, like Eugenia Cooney, if you're just gonna lie to her and tell her, oh, you really look amazing, you look healthy, you look fine. No, her loved ones have to be telling her, I'm worried about you. You look too skinny. Her grandmother, if she has one in her life, would be saying, you look too skinny, you need to eat more, you need to eat more. What's wrong, right?
So just to get some insight into the brain of Anti-Vegan, she views other vegans telling Unnatural Vegan or any vegan that they look good as analogous to somebody telling someone like Eugenia Cooney, who is clearly anorexic, that she looks good. Definitely the same thing.
To it. To start with, you need the specialty product.
She said the specialty product because she just can't start off by saying beefless tips. You're gonna say it anyway, just spit it out. All us ex-vegans are on it. The special ingredient, fuck, dude. So desperate. Veganism is so desperate. This whole video is so desperate.
So she's calling a video where Unnatural Vegan calls, beefless tips from Gardein, which is, a meatless vegan product, a specialty item. And Anti-Vegan is just having a fit over it for who the fuck knows. And then she ends up saying that this video is desperate. When ironically, it seems like she's desperately reaching for something to criticize, like Unnatural Vegan just calling a vegan product that is a mock product, a specialty product. I'm genuinely just confused at how you can even try to come up with a reason to be upset with her calling this a specialty product. Who cares? This is what I mean when I say that it seems like somebody is behind the camera and is telling her like, listen, find something negative to say about this vegan. If you don't, I'll just shoot you in the head.
The Oatly chocolate chip ice cream for $1.99.
Not ice cream. not fucking ice cream, not cream, not butter, not meat, not cheese. Stop using our words. You cannot have them. They're not yours. Pick new words. You like to make up definitions. You like to make up words. You like to say meat is murder. So then stop choosing meat to name your fucking vegan alternative products. Stop using these terms, dumbasses.
Okay, so first of all words are made up. So for her to insinuate like, oh, you're making up words, it's like, well, first of all words are made up and we assign meaning to them as a collective group. But anyway, why is she so butthurt over us using words like ice cream and meat to describe vegan products? What kind of a person wakes up and is like, oh my God, these fucking goddamn vegans are calling vegan ice cream? Like, my day is absolutely ruined. I'm now in the most negative emotional state ever. I'm gonna go on the internet and make a video just purely bitching about it. Oh my God, please use a different word. Who cares?
I think it's so sad she's trying to mimic beef stew. Just so sad. I did this all the time. I would mimic chicken noodle soup. I would mimic vegan enchiladas. Oh no, not mimic vegan enchiladas. I would make vegan enchiladas mimicking real enchiladas with real cheese. I mean, everything that I ate was trying to mimic animal products, okay? Unless it was, of course, Whole Foods, plant-based options and shit, which I ate a lot of that crap too.
So she just kind of insinuated that whole food plant-based products, like just, purely plants, are crap. So things like apples and blueberries and fruits and, vegetables are just crap according to her. I think that tells us everything we need to know about her knowledge of nutrition. And before that, she goes on about how she used to, when she was vegan, mimic a lot of the traditional animal-based products. And what is the problem with having done this? I mean, like, vegans like to enjoy the taste of animal products without supporting a holocaust, so they come up with mock products and alternatives that give you the same, if not a very similar taste to the animal product, but doesn't require, shooting an animal in the head, slicing their throat, separating mothers from kids, and all these other terrible things that are required for animal products to be developed. Again, just bitching about literally nothing. Crazy video quality, guys.
My goodness, when are these vegans gonna realize that they're all the same with these damn cliche intros? Basically everything I saw was sugar. This chick eats only sugar and processed foods. Like nothing but junk food. That's all I see. And a couple of whole foods, a couple of plants and vegetables so she can virtue signal us on how healthy she eats, when in actuality, her diet is the death diet.
Hey, the vegan diet is the death diet. The diet that, minimizes death is the death diet. And if she means in a more health fashion, that the vegan diet is the death diet and that it's going to make you die, she obviously provides no evidence for this. All right, guys, so here's the part where I believe she just blatantly starts to project how she felt when she was a vegan.
I mean, vegans are so full of shit. Like, why do people think, why do these vegans think that we want to know how they eat? They think, I'm God's gift to humanity. I am the vegan star child. I can help them be better. I can help them be like me, be healthier like me. And the whole time thinking that they're healthier than all of us omnivores. The whole time thinking that they're superior and they're moral high ground, when in actuality they're just starving themselves. They're malnourished, lacking fine nutrients necessary for the human body.
Yeah, vegans are just totally, starving themselves. Actual plant food isn't real. It's just like a figment of our imagination. We develop a level of delusion once we surpass a level of B12 deficiency, and we end up thinking that plant food is real food, when in reality, what we need is organs and rotting flesh, and also, excretions of a bovine mammal.
Today I will show you some plant-based recipes that are high in protein, and hopefully you will get some inspiration.
All right, here we go, guys. This is the part where the guy says, say something negative, just find something negative to say about this video.
First of all, there's actually a lot of protein in broccoli and other vegetables. For example, 1 cup of cooked spinach has like 5 grams of protein, and 1 cup of Brussels sprouts has like 4 grams of protein.
I mean, look at all this spongy, soggy, baby-looking food. There's nothing of substance. Do you notice that? In anything that these vegans try to make.
Yeah, there's nothing of substance in what this vegan and what vegans in general are making. We've all been eating nothing for the years or months or whatever that we've been vegan.
Why do people think tofu is some amazing source of protein? Why do people think that beans are some amazing source of protein? It's because when people really eat tofu, like cultures that really eat tofu, that's not all that they eat. They don't eat nothing but tofu. They still eat fish, they eat chicken, they eat beef. It's the same with the beans, you know? Like, do you think that Mexicans eat nothing but beans and only beans? Yeah, we eat a lot of beans, but we add bacon, grease to it, you know, when you eat your beans, you eat it with some eggs.
Wow, I had no idea that other cultures who eat tofu eat other food that isn't tofu. It's almost like vegans also eat tofu alongside other foods. Nah, just kidding. It's vegans only eat tofu.
I want to bring something to eat with me. And Roots kindly sent me some cream cheese, some vegan cream cheese that is made out of cashews, and it's so good. I already ate some, and I'm gonna put the cream cheese into the sauce.
Vegan cream cheese, yeah, no, cashew cream cheese is really not that good. I've had it. I've had the Go Veggie cream cheese. I mean, why? Just why? Can you just stop with the fucking restrictions already? Like,
dude, why would you have cream cheese that doesn't require mothers to be separated from their young or, you know, other mammals to be raped? Why would you choose the cream cheese that doesn't support those amazing things? Why the restrictions? Why do you even have, like, you know, restrictions in your morality? Why the hell are we restricting ourselves in life, period? We should just be free to do whatever we want. Restrictions are just inherently bad. Just have the dairy cream cheese and support the rape and the separation of mothers from their kids and the exploitation and the murder. Like, who cares?
all these spices, all this flavoring added to these tofu meatballs in order to make them imitate meat. Not like you're making your own special meatball, you know, like you said, Vietnamese meatball with real meat and all these delicious seasonings to help bring out the flavor. No, this is literally giving the tofu flavor. Okay, it's not bringing the tofu flavor out, it is making it have flavor, whereas before it was just bland, no flavor.
Oh my god, guys, what a huge deal. He's taking tofu and making it taste better by adding seasoning to it. What the fuck, dude? How fucking dare he take tofu, a food that is, you know, not too flavorful when it's alone, and add seasoning to it to make it taste like meatballs. I just can't fucking believe it. This is such a big problem. The world is probably gonna end due to people taking seasoning and putting it on tofu, which are trying to make taste like meatballs. Anti-vegan, thank you so much for making your channel and going out of your way to point out some of the most horrific things that are going on today, such as vegan people who like to cook deciding to season their tofu so that their tofu can taste like meatballs. Thank you.
All vegans should be eating pasta. If you're not eating pasta or fat, you're fucking up. You need to at least feel satiated. Pasta, rice, avocados, you need that fat. And I'm sorry, but all of this stuff isn't even good for you if you're not eating it with actual animal fat. Fat is what makes everything bioavailable to us. Fat is what makes us absorb our vitamins.
So let's get the meatballs out and
real fat, animal fat.
Yeah, guys, so if you're eating any sort of plant food without, you know, it being combined with an animal fat, you're not actually going to be absorbing any of the nutrients because it's not going to be made bioavailable due to the lack of animal fat in the meal. So vegans watching, every time you've had a vegan meal, which, you know, since it's vegan, lacked animal fat, you actually were consuming nothing. So I've actually just come to the realization that in the last 6.2 years of being vegan, I've absorbed no nutrients because the nutrients in the plant food I was consuming without the, you know, implementation of animal fats was not bioavailable. All right, guys. So this is the weirdest part of the video. It's a video that she had titled something like going from a spiritualist person or something to a Jesus freak. And she goes over how she left the cult of veganism and became Christian. So tell me, what is more close to like a cult, being a vegan and just being like against animal abuse and, you know, shaping your commodity purchase to be in such a way that they don't directly support some of the worst atrocities on this planet toward animals, or being Christian? Just watch this video, super weird stuff.
every single night. Positive affirmations every single night. It was like being stuck in a rat race. But finally, it was as if God spoke to me through books, through knowledge. I was reading a lot about nutrition, and it was as if God just kept shining the light on the words meat, fish, cheese, eggs, butter, milk.
God was shining lights on the words meat and cheese and butter and milk. Definitely.
I started being presented with anti-vegan videos, vegan deterioration videos, and ex-vegan interviews.
Guys, God himself was putting in her feed vegan deterioration videos and, ex-vegan interviews. This was God's work. God was up in heaven and was like, yo, let's mess with, anti-vegan's algorithm on YouTube and make her become exposed to anti-vegan videos and vegan deterioration, a channel that is designed to overcritically analyze the appearance of vegans and try to show that vegans are not healthy. This was God's plan. These are the things that the all-powerful, all-knowing, omnipresent God thinks about when he's up in the sky.
I started to see the truth, and through that, I also saw the truth of the New Age lie that we are all inner gods living out our manifestations through this life, and we chose to be here and blah, 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 blah. It's just so annoying because it pushed me so far from God.
All right, guys, so I genuinely cannot take any more of this. This is obviously a very special anti-vegan who, had probably some really bad experience with the vegan lifestyle. I don't know how she pursued the vegan lifestyle, but something occurred that has made her just so vehemently against vegans, and she's now taking her past vegan identity and turning it into an anti-vegan identity. And guys, you'd be surprised, there is a pretty decent audience online of people who used to be vegan, no longer are vegan, and become this sort of anti-vegan persona. And that's what a lot of these kinds of anti-vegans audiences are. And I find it so psychologically interesting. And like I said before, it really does remind me of the whole villain that used to be on the good side, and then, somehow the good side betrayed them, and now they're a anti-vegan villain. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've learned as much as I've learned today. Things like, God intervening on the YouTube algorithm and exposing vegans to anti-vegan content, such as vegan deterioration. Vegan deterioration, that channel, is very godly and very good. Definitely. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you would like to help pay for some of the therapy I have to go to as a result of exposing myself to this anti-vegan cringe content, you can support me on Patreon for no more than $1 per month and join my Discord and get some early access to my content as well as other perks. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Dude, even vegans don't get your weird, stupid wannabe sense of irony here. Who's your audience? Nobody gets these dumb jokes. Dude, even vegans don't get your weird, stupid